Yanderes. We all love them. We all want them. So don't look at me like that. I know you're a sick. But what would you do if your daughter was born a Yandere? Now normally she would want to kill her boyfriend, right? But what if she kills you? Now that's what happens to the protagonist of our story, Xomu. Xomu is dragged into the Empress's chamber, waiting for his trial, as he has been put to death. Why, you may ask? Well, he didn't get her G-Wagon. No, but I don't really know why. It's never really explained why she kills him. But as soon as she kills him, she instantly regrets it. Because right after he dies, the next day, her kingdom is invaded. And it's being invaded by this girl, Morning Sun. Now, Morning Sun is a baddie. But she's not just a baddie, she's also really strong. So strong, in fact, she was able to infiltrate the palace by herself and come face to face with the Empress herself. And it is here where Morning Sun told the Empress Rokshu her biggest mistake. Her biggest mistake was killing Xomu, because Xomu was the only one that could stop her. Rokshu tries to say something, but before she could get a word out, Morning Sun plunges his sword into her chest and killing her at an instant. Rokshu, regretting her decision, falls over as she thinks about the mistakes she made, wishing for a second chance as everything fades to black. Rokshu wakes up, but she realizes her body is different. She has been reincarnated as her younger self and starts to panic. One of the kids tries to comfort her, but she slaps them away. But realizing she has been given a second chance, she tries to make the most of it, because she has been reincarnated on the day she met Xomu. Morning Sun is also here, but she doesn't have the same fortune as Rokshu. Instead, she is abused and mistreated by the orphan caretaker. Morning begs the caretaker to let him meet the nobles, and he reluctantly agrees. Xomu finally arrives, and he sees all the orphan children. He walks up and inspects all the children carefully, thinking which to choose. He looks at Rokshu, and in his mind, he knows that Rokshu will kill him eventually, because he was also reincarnated in this world. The caretaker is very insistent that he take Rokshu, because her bones are very strong, whatever that means. But to everyone's surprise, he rejects her. Instead, he wants the girl in the corner, the girl named as Morning Sun. He recognizes her from the previous life as the witch who will destroy his kingdom. She then jumps towards him, begging him to take her with him. The caretaker grabs her by the hair, treating her almost like a wild animal and apologizing for letting her touch him. He commands the caretaker to let her go because she is the one that he will take home. Rokshu is surprised at what just happened and begins to panic as Morning Sun is the orphan that is chosen to live with Xomu. Here is where I feel this story starts to fall apart. Now, I agree, this story started off really good. The premise was interesting and it had an air of mystery, never revealing why Xomu was killed. But as the story progresses, you'll notice that things happen because the author needs them to happen. Rokshu is standing with a silent rage as the orphan caretaker tries to convince Xomu to take Rokshu. Xomu doesn't listen as he begins to walk away with Morning Sun holding his right hand. The caretaker persists, but Xomu doesn't want to hear it. Then, as a last attempt to change her fate, Rokshu runs towards Xomu and begs him to take her. The caretaker grabs Rokshu, reminding her that Xomu is out of her reach. Xomu turns around and, almost as a sign of mercy, grabs Rokshu's hand as a gentle smile comes across Rokshu's face, but it's quickly extinguished as Xomu slaps the hand away, reassuring her that this is his final choice as Morning Sun and Xomu walk away. But before they can leave, the caretaker tells Xomu that he must pay more for taking Morning Sun because Morning Sun is worth 2,000 low-grade spiritual stones. Xomu is angered, asking what right does he have to ask Xomu for spiritual stones? What would he do if he just walked out with Morning Sun? The caretaker reassures him that it will not be easy to take Morning Sun as two ninjas pop out from the back. Xomu smiles as he asks them to show him their true power, but Xomu's butler comes out and plunges his hand into their chest. The butler wipes his hands, but before he could completely clean it up, 4 more ninjas pop out and the caretaker starts to run away. Xomu's butler jumps into the air and shoots out lasers, killing everybody but the caretaker. The caretaker begs Xomu to spare him, even bowing his head as he quivers. Then the caretaker had the idea to kidnap Morning Sun, but before he could grab her, Xomu cuts his hand off. Zomu proclaims that no one can take Morning Sun's life except for him, as Morning Sun starts to smile. Then, as Morning Sun's master, he commands Morning Sun to kill the caretaker. The reason being that the caretaker has made her life miserable. So the only logical thing to do is for her to kill him. At first, Morning Sun hesitated, but then she walks to the sword, remembering all the abuse he inflicted on her. And like a possessed demon, Morning Sun, with such efficiency, butchered the caretaker in front of Zomu.